What's up, my boy? George Perez right here. George Perez Stories, episode 154. Yo, right now you got nothing to do, but you do got stuff to do. If you want to go for a walk in the park, the backyard, you want to get away from people that you don't want to be around, make sure you pull yourself a GB extract pre-roll, shatter, vape pen, SideDickin'. What's tricking?
What's cracking, dog? Wild Wednesday. We're still wilding out, mobbing deep, can't sleep, doing line, and everything's fine. People don't believe me, dog. They're like, you haven't got the coronavirus yet. It's because all the coke I've done shuts my nostrils down.
No, it did. Like, you can't. There's no such thing as bad air when you're doing coke. You could do coke in a fucking dumpster and it'll still be clean.
Like when I'm all coked out, like, and I can't breathe through my nose, I breathe through my ears.
Yeah?
Yeah, like a fucking dolphin or like a whale.
Dolphin.
My blowhole.
Hey, didn't they say some shit about the beard?
Yeah, well, I mean,
because it does carry germs. Like, at the end of the day, there's old pussy and culo juice on there.
Like right now, it's like the fool saying he fucked the bitch. He's like, oh yeah, dog, you know, she does this and that. But we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
They're saying if you shave your beard, because the germs, like you said, you gotta wash your face and shit. I mean, I wash my beard every day.
I don't know, dog.
I
That's
do.
like you put conditioner in it, and
shampoo, conditioner.
Do you brush? Do you rake it?
Yeah, and then I get the coconut spray, dog. Brush it down a little bit so I don't get nappy.
Okay,
it takes work, dog.
All right, well, speaking of somebody that needs major beard repair, X to the G. What's up, my boy?
What's up? What's up? It's not that bad,
dog.
Would you shave yours if they made you, dog? If the quarantine kicked into the door
no way,
right now?
Dog. No way.
Why not? Because you would look like
I look like a different person.
Damn, you're like
a
the
14-year-old boy.
Yeah, you're like the fool and just one of the guys.
No, he looks like his sister if he shaves his beard, dog.
Yeah, shave your beard and grow your hair, pero.
No way.
You might get some fool from the army.
Pass on that.
That's what's up. Speaking of passing, this guy right here is the man. We got a special guest in the house, guys. You might recognize him from Channel 4 News.
Or Channel 2.
Channel 2 News, ESPN, Deportes, ESPN Boxing. This fool goes everywhere there's a major event, all the way from Carson. Give it up. Beto Duran. Come on, give it up right here.
Wow. Appreciate you guys having me. I'm probably the tamest guest you're ever going to have.
You are, dog.
But I love hearing your stories. Big fan of GPS. I listen every single week, but now you're going twice a week.
Yeah, you got to stretch it out.
No, I listen the very next day. And by the way, because I have my own podcast, I know how to edit and all that other stuff. And credit to Xavier. Right?
Oh shit!
That's your name, right?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you guys call him X, so I don't know X to the whatever. Everybody has a freaking nickname on this show that I don't know anybody's real names.
We can't call him his real name, dog.
Yeah, because they'll come get him.
See? So you guys record late night, and then the very next morning, the podcast is up and the video's up. Yeah. And that's not easy to do. It takes a lot of work to export the files and everything else. So the fans should really appreciate this guy.
There we go.
No, they should appreciate the fool that put down the line so he can stay up all night.
See, I wish I knew what that joke meant. But
it's a cocaine joke.
Oh, okay. All right. See? Like, once again, the tamest guest you'll ever have.
Yeah. X is like that because he gets special perks, and I will beat his ass.
Then I take it all back.
If he goes to break, if he goes to work by break and it's not out, he's like, dude, I just dimmed half my shift. It's just the shit not out.
Well,
no, I gotta give it to him. I'm like,
because that's your job, right?
Yeah.
Because the hardest part about when you do, everybody says, I want to do a podcast. Let me help you, and then it's like, well, hey. You're working for me. Do your damn job. Because everybody wants to party afterwards. Exactly. But it's like, you still got a job to do.
Yeah,
do it.
I tell him this exactly. I go, look, I am not your friend. I am your boss. All right? I just party with some of my friends sometimes. And you know what, fool? We just did a podcast. And I woke up, took a shower, shaved, iron, and I'm at work. So you know what? How am I at work and you're not? Good. And then I'll be FaceTiming him and he'll do that face and be like,
the eyebrows, dog.
Oh, get it going.
Well, that's your job.
No, no, but
sign up for it.
Hey, wait up, and I can't complain though. What did we do on our job? On my job on Monday night, went to a strip club.
Yeah,
well, that's a dope ass job. I ain't mad. I mean, I had to wake up a little early to get this shit done, but I was there like recording.
Well, that's the thing because to be a successful podcast, people make a schedule and they know when it's coming. Like when Joey Diaz doesn't have it on Monday morning, you know Lee's getting ripped. And because people they're
waiting for it.
They
already.
wait for it because they live through your podcast. Because they hate their life, they hate their wife, they hate everything about what's going on with their own life.
Yeah.
And the podcasts are a way for them to escape. So if they're not there on their drive to work that Monday morning, it's like, where are you at?
My
like,
day's not going good now.
Exactly. You got to have that.
So yeah, to all the fans out there leaving me death threats and shit,
Blame Xavier.
when I don't put it out. Blame XFA to the G.
XGAY. Hey, I was here till 6 a.m. with them on Monday.
Yeah, full.
I was like, oh shit, the sun's up. I gotta go.
Magic sauce came through.
Yeah, dog.
So you're 41 years old
Yep.
and you went to Carson High School.
Born and raised in Carson. Mom and
Now-
dad are from Mexico. There's 7 kids. I'm number 5.
What part of Mexico are they from?
They're from Nochislan, Zacatecas. So it's
Nochislan.
Yep.
That sounds like some bomb ass bread.
Good birria there. So
Okay.
it's you go to Guadalajara and then you take a 2-hour ride through the hills and the bumps
Mm-hmm.
over to like this small little town, like 25,000 people.
And no, my mom's from Guadalajara too.
Yeah.
She's from La Laja.
La Laja.
Yeah.
I heard you guys were talking about the better looking women, right?
Yeah,
Sinaloa and
yeah.
Guadalajara.
Like I used to always go to. I know I'm gonna say it like a pocho, but I'm a cholo. Zapotlanejo.
Damn. I don't even know.
Zapoteplan?
Is that in Afghanistan?
Zapoteplan?
Zapotlanejo.
Zapotanejo?
There's a bunch of little
Zapotlan.
towns.
Say it again.
Zapotanejo?
Yeah, that's how.
That too.
It's like the downtown of Guadalajara, isn't it?
I wouldn't know.
No,
Not
that's
from Guadalajara.
Zapopan.
Zapopan, yeah.
In Guadalajara, there's a neighborhood called Zapopan.
Okay. Well, you know what? If you're a paisa, look it up. Zapotlanejo. Or maybe I'm too pocho. Go ahead.
Don't matter. But like that's so yeah. Born and raised in Carson and
What junior high did you go to?
Stephen White Junior High.
Stephen White.
That's
Yeah.
the name?
That's the name.
White?
Stephen M. White Knights.
No way.
yeah, so
he's
there's-
like Steve, and he's white, and he do shit at night.
He was one of the guys. He actually helped found the port of L.A. Like all the longshoremen.
Oh,
dudes.
yeah?
Yeah. So he was one of those guys.
Oh, so he was like in the fucking How
way
to
back
Kill the
in-
Irishman. He was that white boy.
Yeah,
They were
on the
like,
waterfront,
yo,
all that other stuff. Yeah.
we
So-
need to put a high school behind this fool.
Yeah, so that's it. So yeah, so we all grew up there. 7 kids. Number 5 of 7. My dad was a machinist. Mom, homemaker, and just scared all of us.
Yeah,
She's
right.
like 5'2",
Hey,
and you
our
better-
our era of
Man.
moms was different.
I'm still scared of her.
Yeah,
To
I know
this
what you
day,
mean.
I'm like, when people are like, "Oh, you grew up with cholo kids." Like on our street, there was,
Yeah,
but I couldn't play in the street because
because mom's nah.
I was like more scared of my mom than I was of any cholo.
Yeah, you're like I can't get jumped in because she'll jump me out.
Yeah, she hits harder.
It's harder.
Do you remember kids like that? That weren't allowed to hang out? We
No,
were like, that
of
boy
course.
can't kick
Like,
it.
okay, look, you don't understand. Like, kids like him, they grew up in the neighborhood, and
Yeah.
like, his mom stayed home because the dad worked. My mom and dad worked, so there was no one to stop me from going out. And back in our days, that's what it was all about. Was there was playing baseball outside, football, fucking anything.
They would be
skate-
playing street football in front of my house.
Yeah,
so
those
like
were the days.
3 houses down is where like the cholos will start, and then towards the end of the street. So our house was like towards the middle. They would be playing street football in the middle
What street is it?
on Sheer.
Oh,
Sheer
shit.
Avenue, but then the game became Sheer Street out of nowhere.
No way!
Yeah.
You lived on the street of the game?
Yeah. So the neighborhood is
Damn.
called Keystone. So that was the actual neighborhood, but then the
Okay.
street I lived on was Sheer. So you just knew which kids were like the legacy kids, right? Like
Uh-huh.
the ones whose uncles had Uncle Manuel with the Regal and all that other
Yeah.
stuff. You just knew which kids were eventually going to wear a Pendleton,
You
right?
guys had like a paisa truck, huh?
I had the work truck. My dad still has a white Ford F-150. Still has it to this day.
Wow.
So you just knew which kids were not that they were going to be bad, but those are your friends. But they play street football, and I'd go out there for a couple of plays. Beto.
Substitution, métate, güey.
So like no, it was just like Beto, and then the look, and it was like, all
You
right, gotta
already
go,
knew.
guys. But the thing is, all my friends already knew like Beto can't play with us.
Your mom was like, fucking, what's Boys in the Hood?
Yeah,
Your
the
mom
dad.
He's Trey's
The dad.
dad.
Trey's
I was
dad.
about to say he's Trey. We're
She's like, hey, rake the leads.
Yeah, so like I would come home from school because I had 2 younger sisters. We'd come home from school, and then I'd go do a paper route. I was a paper boy for the
I remember that shit,
for the
dog.
Daily Breeze. I'd
Put it on your handles of your
Yep,
bike.
had the handle on the Schwinn bike, and then go deliver the newspapers, and then come back, and then change and go play whatever sport was because there was
Yeah.
a park by our house.
So you were like Calvin and Whack Arnold's. Yo, Calvin got a job.
In elementary, I was delivering the paper. Then I come back and play whatever. If it was baseball, basketball, we all played at the park.
And like for people that don't understand, Carson is no joke. It's Mexicans, Samoans,
Blacks, Filipinos, whites. It's very diverse.
Okay.
But as you get older, you realize, you stick to your own. Like the neighborhood I grew up in was all Mexicans.
Exactly.
But then you go to junior high, you start seeing everybody else, and it was diverse because when I played at Carson Park, then you'd play against like the Lamo, and you'd start seeing the black kids, and then Scott Park was a Samoan kid. So it's
wow.
But it was cool. It was just everybody was cool.
No, I mean, you guys didn't get to meet all each other till high school.
Like junior high, kind of.
Okay.
Like I remember the first day, I wanted to play football. And I went out there for the first day of football. I'm like, whoa, the Samoans got big over the summer. I weighed 120. I'm like, I'm going to go run cross country. Like, because my high school was good. Like, for football. It was like who
was in your guys' league? What league were you in at that time? Tri-City?
No, it was Carson, Banning, Norbon, San Pedro, and Gardena, which you would play.
Damn.
So, like, usually one of the, like, Carson, Banning, or Pedro would have good teams.
Okay.
And then you just had...
Did you guys all share a stadium back then?
Nah, you played at their schools. Like, Carson and Banning back in the 80s was one of the biggest games west of the Mississippi. The East LA Classic with Garfield Roosevelt, that was huge because it's a community thing. But Carson Banning, because everybody... That was before people were transferring out.
I know. They don't know. Yeah.
And that was before, like...
Open enrollment.
Like, now, my son goes to St. John Bosco. I see guys... who I grew up with, our kids go to Bosco. But back in the day, they'd all go to Banning. Like modern day now has Samoan kids.
Because it was pride.
Yeah, because it was your neighborhood. You didn't transfer. You didn't go anywhere. So like, we were talking about this. So back in the day, Carson and Banning were like the main schools in the 80s. And like, they would every other year, one of those would win the championships. So like,
oh, wow.
It was like guys like, and then Carson started having guys transferring to quarterback. John Walsh was like a whiteboard quarterback who came from like West Torrance. A guy named Perry Klein came from like the Palisades. So the white boys would come in and transfer for the football season, and then they'd leave right afterwards.
Damn.
Like that was back in the 80s, and they'd been like national champions and stuff like that.
Yeah, Eddie looked like that, like the kid that was like the best athlete on the team, but you're like, he can't even get a 1.2 average.
Yeah, that was me.
But like, no, because
that was me.
Because I've heard you say you like grew up in Long Beach, right? So like, it'd be Carson Banu and like Poly was.
I remember.
Like everybody wanted to go to Poly.
I think I was trying to go to Poly. And the fool that was starring over me was Mercedes Lewis.
Okay, who's still in the NFL.
Yeah, so my dad's like, you're not coming to this school, dog.
He was 6'7", 250 in high school. He was a beast. He's still in the NFL right now as a tight end.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a beast, dog.
Still a beast. But yes, that's where I grew up.
You know, the sad part about what we're talking about right now is I had a real good friend, man. Like, I'm talking like brother to me, friend, that went to Santiago High School and could have been in the NFL or the major leagues, dog. This fool was 6'5", 210, running like a 4.4, 4.5.
In high school.
Yeah. Played quarterback and middle linebacker, dog.
Of course.
But
monster. But you know what? So my job is I'm a sports reporter. I've been doing it for a long time, and you always get caught up talking to dudes who will tell you, like, you know, we'll have conversations. Not that these guys are friends, but it's like, hey, who's one of the best guys you played against? And they always mention not somebody in the league with them in junior high.
Yes.
In high school, there was this one guy, but. And there's always a but, and it was like, this guy, if he could have, he would have been better than this and that. There's always that one guy that everybody knows or you've heard of. Like for us, it was one kid named Nacho. I don't even know his real name, but I just remember him like, damn, like he's just the fastest kid ever in junior high.
What sport did he play?
Well, you remember in junior high, you play all the sports?
Yeah.
He's the one, he would get picked for all the sports. It was just
but
like
maybe he was like 18 and he was a little paisa that lied about his age.
No, he was a cholo.
Oh, okay.
He was like, no, because in PE, you know, everybody looks normal in PE. Then he already had like the size 40 Ben Davises like in 8th grade.
So this fool is
he was a cholo, like legit.
Imagine being a cholo though. He's out there playing baseball and he has to lift his pants up and then go catch the ball.
Yup.
Take his pants down and still make
that fool was playing in cutoff 501s.
Yeah. Hey, imagine playing with the bandana like
that. No, but then when you know in junior high, you all wear the same PE clothes.
Yeah.
So you look normal. Then when when you like for lunchtime, had to head back. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, like that guy, if he would have ever done something, oh man, was a big dude. He was like, he had a beard in junior high.
Hey, technical foul row was that fool.
Yeah.
Too,
it sounds like it.
Hey, homie, you don't understand. Like,
He's like the dad from Friday Night Lights, huh?
yeah. Ask Doug Gottlieb about Raw.
Doug
Vital.
Gottlieb, huh?
Yeah, Doug Gottlieb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask him about Raw Vital.
Raw Vital?
With it, dog.
Like, basketball player?
Every sport. This fool, he
And where
was at Orange High. He was our Bo Jackson.
Oh, damn.
Like, his freshman year, he played varsity baseball.
Jeez.
And he was throwing like 90 freshman year.
Those guys.
And then,
Without even trying.
yeah, and then he played football, but back then it was Pop Warner when you could still play in ninth grade.
Oh, yeah, because you weren't eligible to play back then, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he played for the Orange Bengals. They were undefeated for years. The Orange Pop Warner team was every best athlete from Orange High, Elmo, and Villa Park. Because we were all in that city right there. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
And, yeah, man, fucking Raw, dude. He was...
But see, we always go through those guys where we know, like, hey, you probably know some of these dudes. When you go to Poly, you're like, damn.
Oh yeah, I knew. I knew once I stepped on that campus, like, I can't compete with these fools. These fools are future blue chip fools. I was just trying to get pussy. That's all I wanted to do, dog. I wanted the jersey so I could be like, yo, bitch, I'm on the
You
team
were like
too.
that Samoan and Gridiron that got hurt early.
I just saw that. It's on Netflix right now.
Yeah,
like all the movies that Netflix is showing right now, like either Jailhouse ones, Outbreak, but yeah, Gridiron Gang is one of the top recommendations on
That's
Netflix.
actually that shit really
True
goes
story.
down.
True
Yeah.
story, yeah.
It's based on a true story.
I was locked up with some fool. He was like, I was on that team.
Because that was a juvie, right?
Yeah, it was like a YA.
YA
Youth.
out in like
Yeah,
Florida, right?
I forgot that movie was so good. That was a prison movie.
It was
Yeah,
a prison.
it
It
was-
was,
Well, not
Hey.
a jail movie. Jail. I'm sorry. Jail
Gridiron.
movie.
Hey, but you know what
was
sucks
camp,
about
right? It was
Gridiron?
camp.
Yeah. I don't fucking believe Exhibit was like a coach Exhibit.
yeah.
I could drink the whole
I
Hennessy
was
fit.
like, homie, you couldn't even fix the cars. Now you fix the kids.
And the Rock had hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog.
Yo, what's crazy when you talk about those people, like Raw, that they were so good. I can just imagine them born now. Like these dads give them protein. They give them 24 hours.
different.
No, Raw didn't even have a fucking
That's what I'm
dad,
saying. Like,
dog.
and imagine how good he'd be
No, yeah.
If Raw
if he
had
got-
a dad,
Like, if he had
that's-
these kids where like they get like after school treatment.
Yeah.
They get all
Those
the work. Like,
kids-
he knows what's up with those kids.
Those kids get identified now early.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
different world.
No,
man.
but see,
Well, there's-
what you guys fail to understand is Raw had the same disease Kobe and Jordan suffered from. Like,
Competitive.
Raw had to beat you at everything at any time.
But I'm telling you, if Raw was anywhere in this day and age, so my son is in high school. He plays basketball. He's pretty good, but we see the different levels and just
Yeah.
being around. Like for football, the way that these kids are getting recruited when they're in sixth grade.
Yeah, I stopped caring about football when my uncle moved to Washington. My dad hated sports. That fool
Yeah.
never watched
But
nothing,
if
dog.
you are any kind of an athlete now at 11, 12, somebody's going to see you.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna get a sponsor.
So somebody's exactly. So Raw,
Blindside?
oh, he did like back then, dog. He was playing pony baseball. He was playing everything at the top notch.
but you know what happened right now? Somebody would say, you know what? You don't have a dad. Come live with us.
Yeah, Blindside.
Somebody's
nah,
gonna,
Raw would bone all the kids for
No.
you can't.
You would, dog. That's different
No,
from Raw.
blindside, it would happen.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there are these kids now where there's a thing called holdbacks, where if you're in 8th grade and you're like 14, what they do, if you're, they'll hold you back and they'll put you like in this one like prep school kind of thing. Like
Yeah,
where the
so
actors
you're
go.
bigger by the time
so
you play
go to
ball.
high school, you're like legit a full year of training and you're just a monster. You look like a man.
Yeah.
You can be there at 18.
You can be
You
there.
can be there at 18. Like,
You
I
have
think-
to have the right
Yeah.
birthday. So like a lot of the quarterbacks, they'll grad. You know, they always say, "Oh, they graduate early. Everything they're smart." It's like no, because they did 8th grade twice. So they already and they went to summer school. They know. So if your birthday's in January, if you're a football quarterback, high school you cannot play football when you're 19. You can't play sports if you're 19. But if your birthday's in January,
You can.
your birthday's in January, so you play your entire senior year as you're 18, about to turn 19.
Some
Grown
kids
ass
don't
man
even
out there.
graduate at 17, dude.
I graduated. I was in college at 17.
Yeah, see what I mean? You're
So-
playing a whole year and a half.
I should have been.
Yeah.
I should have been a freshman. Like it's just, but there's so much money involved.
Smart.
The amount of
Smartness.
scholarship. It is. It's,
You know what,
It's working the system.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question about high school sports.
So much money in there.
How does CIF rate you? This is what I've heard. I heard that for you to be Division I, you have to have more kids in your population because CIF thinks one out of every 100th kid is going to be a great athlete.
So what they did is there's now. I don't work high school sports anymore, but I follow it a lot, pay attention.
Cálmate, muda, cálmate.
No. It just, hey, man, there's more money in the pros. But I still pay attention to what's going on because it's like the last pure thing. When you interview a high school kid,
right.
they just don't know how to do interviews, and they're so, okay, yeah. It's awesome. But what they did now is there's an open division, which is where Bosco, Modern Day, Sarah, all the private schools, because they have a bunch of money.
That's the Empire League, right?
No, it's the open division when they go to playoffs.
Oh.
So what you're talking about, like divisions and
how does CIF
population?
distinguish how many? Like,
okay, so the divisions are based on school population.
Okay.
So they want a school like, say, Orange has 800 students. They don't want them playing against Ridgecrest that has 115 or 80. You know? I had to throw that in.
Good one.
So that's what they do. So when it comes time for, like, you're playing your league because your league is right around you.
Yeah, because your area.
But when you get to playoffs, that's why there's Division 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, like, Newport Harbor is not going to play against Segerstrom.
Hey, dog.
Like that.
Okay, now that you established that, let me let you know my fucking high school schedule, dog, who we had to play. First game, Newport Harbor.
Legit.
Second game,
Corona Del Mar.
Warren.
Legit and Downey.
Yeah, Downey. Third game, San Clemente.
So at San Clemente, it's only, in that entire city, it's only one high school. So everybody that's a stud goes there and the surrounding area there. So they have some studs there. What are you doing down there? You playing against those guys?
Yeah.
Monsters.
Okay, I like how you brought up
There's like probably 4 people that know what we're talking about. Oh, well.
No, it doesn't matter.
It's the George First story.
Yeah.
This is therapeutic for George to talk about his high school days.
No, it's not my high school days because, like, you wouldn't believe. I was a good athlete, but.
Sounded like it. No, you showed me the pictures.
Yeah, I know.
You got to post those pictures if you beat all CI.
no.
You got to.
Nah, I don't brag like that.
No,
but, like,
it's not bragging because take pride. I mean, you do have pride in it.
I do, but it hurts me, dog, because
Why?
I put so much more effort in comedy than I've done anything in my life except for being a father. Like,
But that's
hey,
being
dog,
an adult, though. You have to do
I
that.
know, no, but like, hey, fool, like, I didn't work out really. I was just. I'm so mad at myself now that I see what I did in comedy. Like, hey, homie, I probably could have been something better. Like, I didn't give it the effort. Like, hey, dog, it was weird.
You were just a natural athlete?
Yeah.
Dude, you showed me you're all CIF.
I was
all league.
scared that my brothers. I was scared because all my brothers were good that I was going to get beat up for not being good.
Damn, that
So
is
I
some
really
Friday
did.
Night Lights shit right
yeah,
there.
I really did. Yeah, hey, dog.
He had Cheryl Miller in his house, dog.
My older brother played fucking football with Marshall Falk at San Diego State.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Hey, homie, when I was a senior in high school back then, I was a rapper from my neighborhood. He was part of a fucking, what's that shit called? A fraternity in San Diego State. He brought Marshall Falk there, and I did rap. I rapped, dog. Like,
You used to rap, fool?
I used to, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that shit. I'd be like, orderly, homie, pass the spirits like you did the mic to hear my crazy ass lyrics. Kicking it with the homies as we spark up a leño or give me a hit y yo te enseño. I'm a crazy sureño. Step to your heart. Make you have sueños. Fuck your home and show you I'm the dueño.
Damn, dog.
That was like my shit back
Fucking
then,
delinquent habits over here.
Nah, dog.
No, but you should post your all league award, man.
I'm ashamed. I was
Shit, you earned that
varsity
damn
my
thing.
sophomore year, and I was like,
monster.
I'll never get a Letterman's jacket, man. Like,
You got one though.
no, I just got the letter.
Or, I mean, okay. I don't
couldn't buy
picture
the
you wearing a
jacket,
jacket,
dog.
but you got the letter.
Yeah, because but in my head I was like, what a stupid motherfucker.
Why? But that wasn't your passion though, right?
Yeah.
You were just good.
This fool got the letter tatted on him, dog.
I would say if you were passionate about it, like you're like, I want to play in the NFL, I want to play in college, and then you pissed it away and didn't do it, then okay. But you were just good and you were doing it to pass the time.
I was gonna tell you about exactly what you said, and no disrespect, hey man, I'm not saying this to make glory off of it because I wasn't as good as the guy that I'm gonna talk about right now, but this fool played football with me in Pop Warner. Went to Modern Day. Badass motherfucking running back. But later on, like, he hit me up. I seen him somewhere later on, and back then I was selling weed, and I was selling weed to him, and I was like, I would look at him and be like, motherfucker. And if everybody on the team, like 3 fools from our team made it to USC or like UCLA, And this fool was better than everybody, dog. And Stephen Bodner, modern day. They won the CIF championships. And he ended up getting stabbed at a game in the stands too, dog. Like, look, man, I don't know. Hopefully you're doing great right now. And if you have a family, congrats. But, like, he's my dude that, like, I didn't grow up with, but I just played on the team a couple times. And, like, I was never scared to tackle nobody, but I was just like, this fool was talented and strong. Like, he would do, like, a fake step 360 and plunge into you.
Would it be a running back in modern day? I'll be a stud.
Yeah. You don't remember? Oh, you know what? He was a year older than you. So you weren't watching sports back
But
then.
remember, there was no internet, so you really couldn't
Yeah.
pay attention to what was going on.
Oh, remember they used to have on Channel 11, they would show the scores
Yeah.
after the game?
Fred Rogan would show it on Channel 4
Yeah.
or something like that. They would do that little stuff, and you're like, all right. That's how you would know, but you didn't really hear about names until they got to college, and you hear guys, you're like,
Hey, you know what? Eddie was fucking all state for continuation school football.
Champ, dog. I was a fucking man for the basketball team too. I made the team because I fought this fool on the court, dog.
okay.
Hey, he could ball. This fool can move.
Well, I don't know
Eddie's
how-
fast,
I
dog.
don't know how
Believe it
many
or not.
times I've heard, because like I said, I listen to every episode. I've heard Eddie always talk about, okay, he was in Long Beach, then he was in like Elsinore.
Yeah,
and he was
well-
Because
everywhere
look
else.
at-
he had a tractor, but then he lived in the
Hey,
hood. I'm like,
his-
this guy's mysterious.
In Long
man.
Beach, his dad would beat up his mom, so he would go with his mom to the parents' house.
Nah, here's what happened, dog. This what happened. When I was in 8th grade, my dad had a tow truck business in Long Beach. He used to tow for all the wrecking yards on Carson, all that shit, Wilmington.
Yeah.
And what they used to do, the wrecking yard used to buy a bunch of cars at an auction, and he had a little fucking shitty little tow truck. He would go pick the cars up, take them to the wrecking yard. So one day, he's there getting the car, and the fool's pulling out on the dolly, and the fucking fool clips him. Shattered his ankle, twisted his shit up nasty. I do like 2 surgeries, dog. He ended
Two
up,
Medi-Cal cards?
dog. Yeah, I remember they were claiming welfare. They had this is how much money he was gonna get. Once he found out they were claiming welfare, he's like, "Hey, cut that shit off now."
Yeah.
because I think he won like 300 G's in a settlement, dog. Because he sued the fucking.
Pick your parts?
Nah, it was like one of those auction spots where they slang the cars. So they paid him off. After the lawyer shit, he walked to like 2, little more than 2.
That's fucking a lot of money. Dog.
So
Still a lot of money.
So this fool fucking buys a house in the IE, but like a 3-acre spot, and that's when I was
50
out there.
grand.
But like
You let him hit you?
all the time with money in his hand. Hey, but what was
Hold on,
Yeah,
Doug.
you're a stripper,
He'd be like,
dog.
how many times you want to get hit?
Hey.
You're like, just give me $8 and punch me twice. No, but how
You
did
sound
you
like
do
a
it?
stripper, dog.
Yeah.
But with money.
He
I already
is
knew.
that why you throw money at chicks to get back at your dad?
That's why you see tears coming down. I'm having flashbacks. But with him, it was crazy because he was still mentally a gang member.
Oh,
He was still dog to this. Not
he was
to
like
this
Mike
day.
Epps' dad in Next Friday.
Yeah, like fucking Uncle Elroy, dog. Dog. But like he was probably like, fuck, when this happened, mid-30s, I think, maybe, when he got this money. So he's young and dog,
I was a party motherfucker back then and a dad. I know what you mean.
when he got the spot, he just started doing dumb shit with his money, dog.
Like buy you a tractor.
Yeah. So
Cut the grass.
Cut the
Yeah.
grass. Like that's how he
No,
was.
like he would buy other fools to beat him up in front of Eddie. He's like, I wish this was you. He would punch this.
So that's why you get that gap where I'm from Long Beach, and then I go out there for I think we lasted 3-4 years out there.
They kicked you guys out.
He fucking dog. He did
Uncle
some crazy
Elroy,
shit.
he got put in.
That-
Did
yeah.
he lose the house?
Nah, he sold it just to like.
No,
'cause
Uncle Elroy, he sold the house. Remember
he-
getting evicted?
he got in trouble and he was facing 10 years because he had the money. Like so now all the knuckleheads are around him.
Yeah.
So he was doing
your new
dumb
friends.
shit that he didn't even need to
He
do.
was like Mr. Deeds.
Zoom, 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 zoom,
Funk version right there? That's the funk version. I thought I was gonna hear
I
some deep
once
bass.
knew a hoe that worked at Stop and Go. She gave me some culo and it smelled like, yo, it was fine. She was fine. I once hit it and did a line. I broke her spine like a chiropractor. I beat her ass like Eddie's mom bottom attractor.
In the house. Clap your mouth. You know, I'm going out doing coke with Tommy. Fuck that. My mommy got beat. All this.
He sounds like the strip club DJ.
Keep going, dog.
Oh, no.
Keep going. My mom got beat.
You know, my mom got beat while I was in my sheets. Put my cover on my head when she used to get beat. My dad said he cheat. Came home, then he beat. Brought my PlayStation once. I said, fuck you, Dad. Dear. Dear.
Popcorn.
I
don't know how to do this shit.
How the fuck is your favorite movie?
Yo,
Gonna rap?
my name was X. I like to flex. I wear Timberlands and I don't get respects.
I was scared coming down the freeway. I knew that GPS was going to be ready with the Pacifico. I don't want to be like X. I want to be invited back, but I know that my career is off the rack. Eventually, I'm going to get fired because GPS is worth it. It doesn't matter because Will is going to go work it.
Yo, just like that, we're back. George Perez Stories, episode 154. X to the G in the building. SideDick, Eddie.
Hey, Cinderella.
And Beto.
Go find yourself a fella.
Get Tommy. We don't need him.
You're on the clock, bitch, and midnight's coming. You got the wrong man.
Hey, the vato was just doing his job and shit.
All right, killer, you did your job.
All right.
Killer snitching on all of us right now. You know, X kicked me twice. Will stepped on me.
Because Tommy's calling the cops right now.
No one's giving me coke.
Oh, yeah, narco. You like busting drug deals?
No.
Big
Oh, yeah, narco. You like busting podcasts?
Big podcast going down on Whittier. What do you say? Zodi's in Whittier.
No, it's a big podcast going down in Cyprus.
Yeah, I was going to say the
like
street, but they're going to find us.
Beto Duran.
What's up,
From
man?
Channel 4.
So
Or
you'll be
Channel
on.
2. It don't matter.
He'll be on that.
You know, I keep saying Channel 4 because I'm going to get fired from Channel 4.
Channel 2?
No, Channel 2. I still work there.
Channel 2.
Say Channel 4. That way, when they go to fire me at Channel 4, they don't know I work there.
Okay.
I'm at Channel 11. Fuck it.
Dude,
Yeah,
I see you on all the
No,
channels.
I'm on Channel 2, CBS Sundays. Well, sports was messed up, but yeah. So
Hey, bro, like, okay, not to cut you off on what you're on, and you're on ESPN as well.
I used to be at ESPN Radio. So I'm Mr. 1099. I work for everybody. I'm a freelancer. So for 10 years, I worked at ESPN Radio.
But like, how did you get in? What year was it? How old were you? When did you decide? You know what, dog? I'm sick of talking to my mom and dad and my friends about this. I'm gonna spread it with the world.
I couldn't even tell them because think about it. You go and you tell your mom and your dad. My dad's a machinist. My mom's a homemaker, and like, hey, I want to be on TV. They're gonna be like, no, get out of here. So,
¿Qué pen? Antonio Banderas.
¿Qué es eso? Right?
¿Sabes qué, Mr. Chale? You're not the rooster around here.
Hold on, you got the camera on. Can we do that again?
Yeah, do it again.
She was all, ¿Sabes qué, Mr. Chale? You're not the rooster around here. Fuck you, Tommy.
So wow, how do I follow that? That's like following you somewhere. Fucking, by the way, I've seen you a bunch of times, man.
You just gotta follow that, Will. Hey, I'm not gonna be able to sleep.
With all that sunshine in.
No. So let's see. My story is I'm a sports reporter, so I go to games and I.
But like, how do you find out about it? Like,
Okay, so what I do now, so right now I do mostly play-by-play. With play-by-play, it would be Vince Scully, Chick Hearn, those guys. Not that I'm saying I'm on that level.
no, I know, but like the
that
full
job.
major
They call it
league.
the game.
George,
Yeah, Bob Uecker. That was
Yeah.
it. Okay, so I...
That fool was funny,
Oh,
dog.
yeah, just a bit outside.
Hey, he was great, huh?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Bob Uecker is a Hall of Fame broadcaster.
Oh,
he
shit.
works for the Milwaukee Brewers now.
No way.
Yeah, no, he's always worked with him. So when he was doing Mr. Belvedere, he was still...
Oh yeah.
When he was Mr. Belvedere, he was also of the Brewers broadcaster.
He's so likable.
He's super nice. So a friend of mine, Joe Block, worked with him. So Bob would do the first 3 innings. My buddy Joe would do a couple. And he was just the nicest guy I've heard. And so he had the Miller Lite commercials back in the 80s and all that other stuff. So, he had that front row and he'd sit way up on top. Right? So that was it. So he was a player. He was a catcher.
No way.
He played in the major leagues. And then he became a broadcaster, and then he became an actor and stuff like that. So that's what I do for boxing. And then I do that for college sports. I do that for high school sports.
You did NFL as well?
For the NFL, I worked for the Chargers for 2 years. I did their post-game show.
Okay.
I've never done NFL play-by-play, but I've done play-by-play. That's the job where you're describing like, left hook, uppercut, like, chick, all that other stuff. I've done college basketball, some football. I've done like small stuff like that. But for 10 years, I was ESPN Radio's beat reporter, which means I go to the games and I interview the players afterwards. So I went to every Dodger game, every Angel game.
Did you watch the games as well?
That's your job. You watch them, then afterwards you go do the interviews in the locker rooms. When you see the locker room, there's a bunch of guys, and you see all the microphones.
You're like Shaq. I noticed some girl.
Shaq was before my day, but I was a
She
Kobe
showed you
guy.
your titties when you shot that free throw and you missed. What were you thinking?
I've heard those questions, yeah. So that was my job. So like when you see the microphones, I was one of the guys there. So
That's tight, dog.
Every Laker game, every Clipper game, Kings game, all that stuff. So I did that for like 10 years, and now I do play-by-play mostly because now with technology, you don't need somebody on the radio to tell you what the scores are because it's on your phone on Twitter.
Yeah.
So like 5 years ago, ESPN Radio in LA eliminated my position, but I already saw the writing on the wall, so I started doing more TV and stuff like that. So I'm on CBS 2 on Sundays next to Jim Hill, which is crazy.
Yeah, he's old
because
school, dog.
Everybody, the nicest
you dress sharp,
man.
though, my boy. You dress sharp, dog.
Appreciate it, bro.
You got to keep it up.
But so my sister, back in the day, used to work at Men's Warehouse when she was in college, so she was always like teaching me the rules, like the style. I've always taken pride
You
in
want to
the
hear
way I
something
look
crazy?
fresh.
My brother Evans, he used to work for David Ricky.
Wow,
Evans,
back.
he ran the invoicing, okay, so David and Ricky, for those of you that don't know, David and
old
Ricky is custom tailoring for professional athletes so they can look
Damn.
sharp. Dude,
Because
they
the
used
big
to
guys
go
can't
to
go to the
Lakers.
rack.
Exactly.
You can't go on the rack at Men's
Dog,
Warehouse.
Evans gave me this shirt, dog. This how sick is that tailoring, dog. The fucking neck had a stretchy thing on it so it don't get wrinkles.
Yep.
The wrist, like this.
All
I'm like,
that.
damn,
All that
dog.
stuff, man.
He used to work shipping and receiving.
Okay.
Because he's real good with computers. And the first day he showed up to work, bro, he showed up with Ben Davis jacket, Dickies, and like nice shoes. And, he's a big dude. They gave him all the clothes that the NFL players returned.
You got to, because those dudes wear it once, twice, maybe.
Yeah.
And then
That
they're
fool
like,
found
oh,
a sack in his clothes, though.
George knows. George gets clothes from RVCA, and then sometimes he gets shit that's a little too big,
Yeah.
and you just get that shit tailored.
Yeah.
Just gets it perfectly
That's the
so
thing.
it
So
looks.
like on the show, there's the way you grow up. Like you always got to look good.
Yes, that's anywhere.
That's anywhere, but but you got to be professional about it. I take pride in the way I like on TV when I'm professional, I'm good. Once I'm not working, I'm in sweats all the damn time. Like forget
like
that.
a stripper customer.
Hey, what's up, Will? I'm like Lee Sayette style, right?
Right.
So but I'm always in sweat. But like when I go to work and like you take pride, but everybody's like, oh man, you look sharp. I'm like, you go to the Callejones, you get a deal for $60. You just got to have a good tailor.
Taylor, exactly.
Once you get a good tailor, I have a couple custom suits, and it just feels different. Like all that, I treated myself. I'm like, all right,
100% wool.
it just one's wool and one's like a different kind of like it's an Italian like blend,
Okay,
kind of
yes.
wool, like a different.
I got
kind of
one
blend.
of those in my room.
It just feels different because it's
Yeah.
made to you, stuff like that. Like has my name on it.
Like
Yeah,
the
you can
moths-
bend every way and feel good.
Yeah,
Like the
everything.
moths are scared to eat it. They're like, oh, we're gonna get in
Like,
trouble.
have you ever like gotten a custom shirt made?
Yeah.
Oh man, you can't
Homie.
go back.
Evans
But I
used
do.
he used to send us material because he ran shipping and receiving. So he'd be like, "Hey, dog, I'm sending you 10 fucking alligator shoes."
Yeah.
I still got David or Ricky ties that say $150 on the tie.
Yeah. The ties, but the custom shirt, like I like the cufflinks, stuff like
Yes,
that, and it has
it's
your
a whole
name
different
on it.
level.
It just feels different on you. It's like
Yeah.
like butter.
Yeah,
they
look
say.
good, feel good, play
Oh,
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like hey, dog, you gotta have a pocket square.
Always
Your socks should match your belt.
details. Yep,
And like
the details.
When you stand up, you put the button on. When you sit down, you take the button off.
Always. You
Oh.
only button. It's only wear a 2-button suit. Only only button the top one when you're walking.
Yes.
It's like the little details about that stuff. But anyway, so
Always-
how did I start in this business? I knew I wanted to work in sports. Like in high school, I was the editor of school paper just because it got me out of real class, and I got to go to the games for free.
Did you go to all league games or just your games?
All of them.
wow.
I mean, all the Carson games. I'd go
Yes.
for free, and then I'd like interview my friends. And it just got me out of class. It was easy.
Yeah.
And then I knew I wanted to work in sports. I didn't know what. I'm a big sports guy, so I was like, let me be a doctor. And, like, be the sports doctor. And then those classes were hard. I was like, I talk a lot. Let me be an agent. Those were hard. And then I went to El Camino Junior College because I didn't know what I wanted to do because all 7 of the kids went there. And then I took a journalism class, and the professor was like, you're a good writer. I was like, I am. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, damn. And, once I get motivated, I know what I want to do.
It's a wrap.
It was done. That's when I was like, all right, it was a class Friday mornings at 8 o'clock.
Damn.
I didn't miss it once. Because
At night or morning?
Morning.
Damn.
That's hard.
But once I was like motivated,
Yeah, it was a wrap.
it was like cool. I was the first one in there. Cool, that was it. And then I got an internship with CNN working in 2000 for the Democratic National Convention. The reason I got it, I lied.
That's how everyone gets anything
Up,
good.
What's
So-
up?
That's how I get bitches.
So my friends went to USC. So like my thing was like I had friends that went to all the smart schools. I was a smart kid. I just didn't do my work kind of.
Yeah.
And like so I had friends that went to USC. I'd go party with them. And then the next day I go to their classes. Then UCLA, same thing. I was like people thought I went to school there.
Oh,
I was
shit,
just
dog.
there more often than anything else. So it was like my friends were like, hey, this CNN is looking for an intern for this in the next 2 weeks, but you have to be enrolled at USC. And I was like, well, I thought I was ready to transfer. I was going to go to Dominguez. She's like, just call them. You never know. So I called, and they're like, yeah, this internship is for USC students. And I'm like, yeah, I'm transferring there in the fall. They're like, oh, okay, great.
You were Bobby Boucher?
I was like, I'm transferred in the fall.
There is no South
reason-
Lafayette High School.
The reason it happened is because the intern that they had, because it was the New York affiliate, that intern didn't show up.
Oh,
So
fuck.
they were stuck. So I show up and they're like, you're 21? Yeah, no problem. I'll be there. They're like, we can't give you school credit. Normally internships give you school credit. I'm like,
good.
I don't need it. No,
Yeah, right.
I'm not
He
enrolled
Rudy,
anywhere.
remember? He's like,
I was Rudy.
you're Rudy, though,
Because I
sleeping
was-
in the fucking trader's room.
Exactly. So I knew where Staples Center was. So I get there and they're like, okay, here's how you edit. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, there's like this machine that I have no idea what it is. It's 2000. And then I'm like, I told the girl, I'm like, hey, at my school, she went to Northwestern. It was a Northwestern, a Syracuse, and a University of Missouri. Did 3 other interns who were getting their masters.
Wow.
And me. Right? And
Right? You were living in the master bedroom at your mom's house.
Exactly. Not even that. And then they were like, okay, here's how you. And I'm like, hey, at my school, because it's a state school, we don't have this fancy program. Can you teach me edit? And they're like, yeah. So they taught me. So the next day I'd show up, like, I had to be there at 8. I'd get there like at 6:30 and taught myself how to edit kind of thing.
Wow.
But I was, because I knew eventually they were going to find out I didn't belong there. So they were going to just grab me and be like, hey, bro, like, you got to fucking go. Like, it's going to happen. I was like, hey, I'm here for the opportunity. And so
You're there for the knowledge.
yeah, so the director shows up and she's like, my real name's Humberto. She's like, Humberto? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, what are you doing here? I was like, oh, I just want to make sure that I know how to edit, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh, I love your work ethic. I'm like, okay, cool. Great. Thanks. The following day, same thing. So the internship was for 2 weeks. So that morning, remember, they're from New York, 2000. There's no Google Maps.
Yeah.
There's no internet on your phone.
It's a Thomas
They got
guy.
lost.
There's a Thomas guy. Exactly. So I'm there like 7:30, and they're like, I had like, what I would do is I'd find like a video from the night before. This is before the convention started, and I would I was just learning how to edit just in case they needed me. That's what the job was going to be. They're like, one guy's like, well, if we're going to be in Pasadena to get to the Hollywood sign, we got to take the 10. Then they say La Cienega, and I don't know where I pop up. I'm like, no. What you got to do is you got to get, if you're going to Pasadena, get to the 101, blah, 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 get off on here. And they're like, no, we got told recommended this way. I'm like, all right, well, it's not going to work. And me being the smart ass, I'm like, fuck, shut up. Don't talk like this because these are important people. It's the CNN New York affiliate. It's a big, and I'm like, I stay quiet.
Yeah, they're from New York, right?
The director tells me, she's like, so if we follow your directions, Humberto, how much time are we going to save? I'm like, easy half hour. I was like, if you're coming to the 10, you blah, blah, blah. She's like, okay, today you're with Desmond. You're going with him. That was the camera guy.
Desmond Howard?
No, Desmond the camera guy. And so they didn't I was like, yeah, just give me the Thomas guy. They're like, what's a Thomas guide? And I'm like, which is now for you young people, it's a map that you
Yes.
had back in the day.
I know how to use that.
I used to-
The reason I knew how to use that is back when I was the paper boy, when we had to deliver newspapers, you had to go through the Thomas guide to find out.
Fuck, I remember.
Dog, you
right?
know how many Thomas guys have been thrown at me by my dad, dog?
I was thinking of you as the tow
Because he's a
truck
tow
guy.
truck driver. He's like, E14. I'm all,
So what I did, I ran to my car, grabbed the Thomas guy, and I showed that dude around, and he was like, he comes back, and he's like, oh my god, it took us 20 minutes, blah 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 blah. I got assigned to him wherever he wanted to go. I was his instructions.
Oh,
so if he
wow.
wanted to go to Tommy's in Hollywood, boom, we wanted to go to Venice Beach because everybody always shows the Venice Beach. That
Yeah.
That
we had to go
background.
there. We had to go to the Muscle Beach. They were getting scenics, the B-roll and stuff like that. And I'm like, that was my job. So the three other girls were like, how come he gets to go everywhere? They're like, do you know how to read a Thomas guide? I heard the typical New York attitude. They're like, so I didn't have to edit the rest of the week, right? I'm like, that was my job. And then I met. So our job for that week was Hillary Clinton was running for state senate. We were on her beat wherever
Hold
she
on, don't
went.
say that around Xavier,
Yeah,
dog.
dog.
'cause
Oh,
he's-
lizard people.
this
but
fool's
yeah.
dick got
Yeah.
small right now.
You're triggering me over here.
He's a conspiracy
Yeah,
theorist.
dog. He's a theorist.
He thinks she's a lizard
yeah,
person.
She's a lizard person.
What is
She's
that?
crazy.
He thinks
you
that
don't
these
listen to
lizards
Tempo.
secretly run the world.
No, I live in the
yeah.
real world. What's the
You know, he's a
person?
paisa and they wear lizard belts. He thinks,
Him and Chalino were at Parada. All right. So we followed Hillary Clinton around, and then that's when I saw what press conferences were, and I'm like, fuck yeah, this.
I'm in.
I'd rather do this than write. I thought I wanted to be a writer for Sports Illustrated. I saw
hey, is she ugly?
she was short, but
She's short, huh?
Yeah, but the best was Christy Brinkley was following her around, so we would interview.
Oh, wow.
Dude, Christy Brinkley must have been like late 40s at the time.
Still banging.
Dude, I'm like, whoa. So it was, my job was just to tell the drivers where to go in the morning. I used to have to meet them at the Century Plaza Hotel. And I was like driving a Volkswagen Bug at the time. So driving up the freeway, I'm just trying to get there wherever I can. And I'm loving the experience. And I'm like, I'd rather be, so my job, what I want to do after that was like, I want to be a TV director. The one who's like, blah, 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 stuff like that. And it was cool. And they were like, oh my God, so you're going to be good at this. Then after that, I started working at ESPN Radio as the guy throwing out the T-shirts, sitting at the tents, like just to get the street team.
Yeah.
Just to get in, I started working at radio. If I had to be there at 4,
Who was doing it back then? Who was
it
on
was,
the radio?
Joe McDonald, who died. He was like a big dude, Big Joe. He was awesome. And then Doug Krikorian, who writes for the Long Beach Press Telegram, or used to. And then that's what ESPN Radio was starting in 2001. So they're like, be here at 4 to take the van out for Monday Night Football. I show up at 12. And I'm like, hey, anybody need food? Anybody need copies? Anybody need water? And I just hung around the studio.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
And they were like, sure enough, my break was Christmas break. The guy who answered the phone didn't show up, and I was there. And they're like, Beto, you know how to answer the phones? I'm like, yeah. But it was like the big old switchboard. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, fuck all these lights. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah,
So I just
never
acted like
say
it-
no.
Exactly. Never say no. So they're like, hey, we're not getting any calls. I didn't know how to answer the phones because there were just so many damn lights. Anytime there would be a light, just push it. So I learned that. I learned how to edit for the radio. I became a radio board op, and then one thing led to another. And then I started going to Kings games for free. So I would go to Kings hockey games.
If I don't go to a Dodger game once the coronavirus is over, dog, I'm going to be mad.
No, I'm going with. I got you. We're good. We're gonna go. We know. Then I went to Kings games, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna interview the visiting locker room," and I'm like, "All right, cool."
Way.
I had no.
Who was on the Kings back then? Robitaille, Gretzky?
Robitaille, no, not Gretzky. Robitaille. They were.
You like how I knew that?
Hell yeah,
He was
you know.
dating Alyssa Milano back then.
Oh damn! A lot
The
of
only
people.
reason
George,
you know
George was
that.
like all the hood rat facts and shit. He's all, you know how many chicks that fool boned?
I went to the library to learn about hockey. What the fuck do we know about hockey?
No way.
Because it's one thing to watch it, but if you're going to interview somebody, you got to know what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
So
I
know
just
your
knew it
facts.
because of Nintendo.
Yeah, okay. 95, right?
Yeah.
And then when they start fighting, like in Swingers, that one where they just start going back and forth. So I went, my first interview, they sent me to the Columbus Blue Jackets locker
What
room.
the fuck?
And they're like,
that
go-
sounds like a fucking
Well, you know-
KKK
Yeah.
university.
So they're playing the Kings. They're like, go interview a guy named Rick Nash. He's the big time rookie. It was like 2002, 3.
And there's no internet, so you had to go to the library. Like
I
you
was
said.
I was reading the fucking newspaper, like, who's this guy Rick Nash? Like, whatever. I walk
Yeah.
into the locker room, and I'm looking for the other report. I'm thinking, cool, other reporters will interview him, and I'll just fucking piggyback. And I look around, nobody fucking there.
No
Oh, fuck.
way.
Because it's Columbus. They don't have any media coming
Yeah.
to get him. Nobody cares about him. So Dave Joseph, who was like my boy, who like showed me, he's like, you got to go learn how to do this. I wasn't getting paid, but they gave me a pass. I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah.
So for the rest of that year, I had to interview the visiting locker room. and they would use it on the post game show and stuff like that. And I was like, fuck, this is it. I want to be a reporter. That's when it was like, so instead of finishing up school, I never finished up school. I transferred to Dominguez Hills, and I was in class one day, and I get a call. I called my mom for something, and she's like, "Oh, they called you de la radio que te llamaron," and I'm like, "Yeah, all right." She's like,
She's probably Wayne Gretzky está en la casa.
she's probably thinking I won like a prize or whatever. Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, can you come tomorrow?" And I'm like, "I got class, or do I go to the radio?" I'm like,
straight up, fuck class.
Hey, dog, like they say, what did Kobe say? He goes, fools go to college to learn their career.
Yeah.
I'm going to the NBA because this is my career.
John Ireland always said, who does the Lakers play-by-play, always said, don't let school get in the way of your education. It's like,
Real
if you
talk.
have a way to find it, just go. And then my thing is, like, you let me in, I'm fucking kicking doors down. Just like every single person in this room. You're going to find
That's
a way.
what Will did. If you remember how you said, how we need Will? He did exactly what you said. He would show up at the strip club. Hey, you guys hungry? You want something?
But that goes back to, I've always heard George talk about this, about how always looking fresh, always looking the part. And so the Angels messed up in 2004, gave me a season credential. I was the board out pushing the buttons on the weekend, and they gave me a season credential. Oh, well, whatever. Time passed. So I'd go there so I would be the board out pushing the buttons Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I show up to every game if there was a game, and I would just stand around, act like I was doing practice interviewing guys, even though the interviews weren't going anywhere. But everybody thought I was doing something. I had an ESPN microphone.
Exactly.
And then sure enough, it was like, so we got a new boss. He's like, so what's your role? I was like, I'm the Angels reporter on weekends. He's like, okay, yeah, keep doing that. I'm like, all right. But it was just like one thing to another, and then
You were like Wesley Snipes in Major League.
pretty much to this day
Willie
now,
Mays
2020,
Hayes.
I'm still waiting for somebody to come and get me and be like, hey, bro, you got to go. Like, you fooled us long enough.
They're gonna
Like,
fucking
because-
Joe Paterno. You take away your credits.
Not that bad, but like that's the thing. It's like I've always, as long as you get there and you provide a service and you're not a fanboy about shit and you act like you know what you're fucking doing, and then sure enough, and then you create opportunities. You network the right way. Like I've heard you talk about how people go to the store and they'll just sit in the back and like, hey, can you give me this? It's like, well, what are you doing to get better to like make sure that you can provide a service?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's how life is, man. Look at me, bro. Everyone thinks I'm super successful, kind of, but I still work at a strip club in the daytime. I pay my dues. I put my work in. You know what I mean? Dog, I went to work today.
Okay, let me ask you this. So I've told you guys this. I'm a comedy fan, and I watch from a distance. I'll go to shows. I'll go support people that I feel are funny, and I'll go watch you guys numerous times. I met you when you opened up for Russell one time, and you were walking by in Brea.
I remember.
You're walking by, and I'm like, because I had seen you, and I was like, man, this guy's funny. I saw you somewhere else before. Anyways, there's guys.
I destroyed that night.
Oh, my God.
I remember.
Because Russell was working on his Indian bits.
Yeah.
And it was like the girl was trying to heckle him, and I'm like, fuck, man, George was funnier. Like, no, because Russell
He's
was
working on material.
Yeah.
He's working on material, and George
And
just
I came
in.
out firing.
Came out and slayed. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? I'm like,
He
that's-
was like, hey, I like you in Too Fast and Too Furious. Motherfucker, that wasn't me. But hey,
Tiger Hector, dog.
no, that's not one dude. Like that.
Noel G.
Noel G.
That's
Yeah.
how, what's up, Noel?
Yeah, Noel's on every movie, right?
Yeah.
I interviewed him one time at a fight. He was promoting that last movie he put out. And anyways, but yeah, so there's a lot of comedians who show up, and I'm always wondering, like, what do they do during the day? Like a comedian. Now that I know what you guys do, you go and perform 5 minutes at 2 different clubs, but like,
Yeah.
during the day, what are you doing? And I stopped following a lot of comedians after I met you and seeing what Felipe does, and like another guy, Eric Rivera. They're always working on stuff because a lot of guys are just complaining.
Crying.
Hey, there needs to be them so there can be me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
People
shit.
need to see the world do people. Like,
Hey, that's real.
no, it is.
That's
Like, I
real.
tell people, I'm not mad at people that ain't funny. They need to be there so I can be me. You know what I mean? There
Yeah, I
needs
get
to
it
be
now.
people that like, hey, dog, I'm not mad at them for trying to hustle sometimes. I'm hustling all the time.
No, but a lot of guys don't hustle.
I know, and
They
I
cry
need them.
too. They
I
cry
need
too much
them.
about like.
I need them.
Why me? Why is this happening to me? How come this,
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
They
that.
sound like Eddie's mom.
Yeah, dog. Why am I still getting hit? It took fucking 15 years for her to wake up, dog. Don't wait that long. All right?
Eddie, I love you.
Comics, don't wait that
Back
long.
then, he wasn't. When Eddie was little, he was side hit Eddie.
Yeah, dog. You hit in the side trying to defend my mom.
We'll be
Took
back
punches.
with some more hits.
What do you want? I thought you wanted it. I don't want his pork chop. I want his life.
Hey, Cinderella, go find yourself a fella. That's what Tommy does. He freaking reads, bro. I used to think Tommy was like off the top of his head that I saw behind the scenes. And you know what? It was like, it just hurt, right? Like watching, realizing there's no Santa Claus, no Easter Bunny. But let me, in honor of you, Tommy, I may be white from the outside, but I'm brown on the inside. To the bone. Ridgecrest, when I was little.
Hey, right now.
We don't need him.
You just blew everyone that watches this show's mind because they don't know he reads it.
They're like,
oh, they don't? Well, I'm going to expose you, Tommy. Yeah, I'm looking right at the camera right now, Tommy.
Hey, right now.
You used to be up here.
Right now, all of Tommy's fans are like, that fool's such a fucking hater, dog.
You mean you're Tommy's fan?
Yeah, Tommy has like 3 fans.
Yeah. And
Tommy?
they go hard
Tomas?
for him. What's crazy is when you seen him in person, like it like broke your heart, dog. When he pulled that phone out, he goes, he reads them from the phone.
And I didn't say nothing. I walked outside. I was in the live studio audience that day.
You did like Trey when he came and started punching the air.
No, you were like the fans back in the 90s when they found out Milli Vanilli.
Was it?
You're like, that shit wasn't in the
Blame it
rain.
on the rain.
Girl, you know
You can't
it's
say
true.
Hey,
nothing.
but nowadays, everybody is that.
Yeah, they're all lip syncing.
Yeah.
Ain't that some crazy fucking shit?
Yeah, but they were lying. But like, at least they're doing it. Like a Super Bowl, it's never performed live because you want to make sure that the audio is fine, it's perfect, it's lip syncing. But those dudes had a whole career on it, man.
Nah, they had 2 songs.
But we're still 30 years later, we're still talking about it.
Yeah, they still doing it. Are they
They were
live?
jams.
Who are the people that sang it? Were they like some white guys?
They were French guys.
Caribbean,
Oh,
French
yeah?
twins, huh?
Yeah.
Rob
Rob
Vanilli.
Yeah. Millie and Vanilli. Yeah.
No, I mean the guys who actually sang the song. I know Milli Vanilli.
No,
those were those guys,
someone
right?
probably wrote it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Someone else had this thing.
Yeah, no, it wasn't
But
them.
they had the look. It's a simple thing. Like that's when they do boy bands, right? They
Yeah.
find somebody who has the look and what's going on.
Because they were lip syncing to that shit. I remember that shit, dog. And then the tape fucked up, remember? In the concert. It's all stuttering.
Didn't that happen to
Ashley Simpson.
Ashley Simpson
Yeah,
on Saturday
Super
Night
Bowl-
Live.
Super Bowl too, right?
Damn, I
She
don't
was
know about
terrible.
that.
All that stuff, man. All that stuff.
You know what would suck is if like you're doing a porno and then like they found out they were adding different sound. You're like, what the fuck? Like that would be the worst. Is to have like fill-in sound in a porno.
No, like they should, if they make porn, they should put like say if I'm watching a porn, they should put like Blade in the background, like all the audio from Blade. So I can
Yeah.
jerk off with it loud.
Yeah, like you know what, dog? What if coronavirus takes sports out and you got to start like being a commentator on porn? You're like, I guess he already passed second base without the first
they
pitch.
even shut that down.
No
Porn
way.
productions have been shut down too.
Damn, dog.
No way,
way.
because of the coronavirus.
They got shut down.
Hey, did you hear about short people that get the coronavirus?
No, what about them?
It's called la coronita virus.
Can't wait till you get hacked. It's gonna end up being a meme somewhere.
Just so you know, I did that. La coronita virus is when short cholas get it.
Didn't you? You've done that before, haven't? I've heard that.
I just did it on Twitter the other day, but like I've been doing stuff lately and people have been stealing it.
For
I'm not
real?
mad at them for stealing it. Just give me credit, dog. You know what I mean?
Well, if they're gonna steal, they're not gonna give credit.
But it just be like post it and be like, by
Look,
George.
dog, when you fucking, not you, but say when that average person screenshots a picture of that fine bitch and tag her, if they can fucking do that.
Yeah, like look, dog. If you keep coming to my house and you keep boning chicks because you're at my house and I'm here, you should be like, hey, because of George. That's what jokes and memes should be like. Like, hey, that fool, like.
Well, all right, let me ask you that. As a comedian, when somebody steals your stuff, do you ever go up to them?
I'll go up to you if I know you're doing something wrong. But if I know you're not doing something wrong, like it happened to me a while ago, and I just went up to the fool and I said, hey, man, I know you don't know me, and it's weird because you do know me. Like, watch out.
Well, everybody's looking up to you.
I know, but this is the part is, like, I'll be like, hey, you know that joke you do? And I'll show them a video of me doing it like 10 years ago, and they'd be like, oh, shit, I didn't know. I said, okay, yeah.
Well,
It's
because when you're starting off, isn't everybody kind of just emulating what everybody
No,
else
not
is
me.
doing?
Dog. I never was. I never had to do that shit, so I'm not going to let you.
No, I'm just asking, like, because I think we all do it. Me as a broadcaster, you start sounding like everybody you've ever heard, and then eventually you find your own voice.
It doesn't matter. If you're getting more views than me on my joke, bitch, I'm going to call you out. You feel me?
Yeah, because there's some dude, like I've told you this, the problem I have with Latino comedians is they all do the same damn joke. And it's like, it's cool, but when the guy after you...
A lot of cultures go to that. Not
they
just
all
Latinos.
do. They all do that. Well, I'm also because I go to the Mexican
See,
rooms.
but you're going to places where fools don't want to prosper and be better. They're doing it at these bars because they know their comedy doesn't exist outside that bar. They don't have to come to Hollywood where I go to and people will call you out.
Yeah, I don't go to Hollywood. That's too far.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in Hollywood and you can't because they're like, hey, homie, that's him.
So when you go to Hollywood, do you do a different set?
No, I do me. My set's original.
Okay, so when you go to like, that's that one you go to Los Alamitos, that's shady, that little bar.
That's I do. Like, look.
Starting Gate, is that right?
Let me tell you
No, no, because I play the horses.
Yeah,
So
no.
I'll go to Los Alamitos, and I've always driven by that spot, and I'm like, that's stabbing room only right there. Like, there's no
Stabbing
way.
room.
That shit is
dog.
so weak, too, dog. That shit is weak, dog.
Is it really? But
Homie, everybody there is over 45.
Yeah, but it just seems from the outside when you're driving on Catella, it just looks like you don't belong there.
Yeah, nah, dog. Trust me, you belong there, dog. Like
'Cause I'm
you'll be
over 40?
tough.
Yeah, all
you'll be
right.
tough.
Oh, then I really don't want to be in those rooms.
Yeah.
If I'm the
You'd be
toughest one in the
tough,
room,
man.
I need to leave.
Like, hey, doggy dog. Me, Felipe, Joey Diaz, Gabriel Iglesias, Jesus Trejo,
Trejo's funny, man.
Frank Castillo. We're the only Latinos that go to Hollywood because we're doing all original material. All
you
you other
guys don't-
fools
you guys
can
don't
get
do-
mad at me all you want, but they don't go over there, man.
But you guys don't do Mexican? Okay.
I do and I don't. You know what I mean? I found a way to make my shit American citizen. And it's not even that. It's just like I want to do more. I fucking love my Latino crowd.
Yeah.
But I also want to do the black crowd, the white crowd. I want to do the coronavirus crowd. Like I want to do all like the Jew crowd. You know what I mean?
Like,
I want to do all of them.
for me as a broadcaster, I want to be known as an excellent broadcaster, reporter who happens to be Mexican.
Yeah, you're
The
like
same thing with you. You want to be known
yeah.
as funny as fuck who happens to be Mexican.
Yeah, like imagine if only La Opinión was your spot.
Dude, that's the thing. It's like I get told, how come you don't do stuff in Spanish? I'm like, one, because I don't speak like them. Like,
So
and
wait,
by-
Yeah, like
So
them.
wait.
What's them?
Yeah,
Xavier got
exactly,
mad.
like
So you
them.
brought that up. As a paisa, everyone's going to hit me up. Why don't you talk? You've never done football? Like, your parents were never like, ¿por qué no
No,
haces
because
soccer?
on Sundays I was watching football, like
real football.
a real fucking kid, right? You should be watching the Raiders and the Niners.
Yeah.
I'm not watching Chivas and America because that's just not what I grew up.
Dog, you
But
look
can
how
get-
you
but
fucking
people-
dress, bro.
but You get a couple hate from that telling you
Oh, I
to do
get-
it. That's what I'm
Okay,
assuming,
so like,
right?
so here's the thing. So for me as a broadcaster, it's the amount of Mexican American broadcasters who are doing what I do. You count them on one hand. The amount of Latinos who are doing what I do, probably a couple dozen around the country. If you watch SportsCenter, there are 0 Mexicans on SportsCenter. As
Just
anchors.
they're the ones plugging equipment in and cleaning the stage. Like,
Yeah, no, there's
No,
Mexicans
I'm talking
there.
about as the anchors.
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
main host. Like
no, none.
there's 0.
Yeah.
There's.
Why can't we get a fucking
But so, like-
Estivano Alberto?
But here's it's here. It's to get to where I'm
Steve
at,
Alberto
you got to
Sanchez.
go through a long ass grind.
Trust
of what
me,
you're
I
doing.
know.
Exactly.
I know.
So back to your question, why? So everybody always talking. You, how come you don't work in Spanish? I'm like,
or
one,
MLS.
one,
You've never, just
I don't-
not your thing, but like
I
you,
don't
you
like-
get a lot of hate from that, right?
No,
'Cause
and
they
I-
expect you to want to do it.
because everybody's like, oh, you should work in Spanish. I'm like, well, one, my audience and everybody who I grew up with speaks English first. So where's you going to have your identity at? Like George doesn't do Spanish comedy.
I mean, it's not that I can't. It's kind of like, look, dog.
But-
I've been to Mexico probably than more than Xavier.
Yeah, but how about this, though, George? My thing is, the time you're putting in your Spanish comedy is time taken away from your English comedy where you can blow up bigger.
Now, I'm not even worried about that. It's me as a person.
It's who you are.
Yeah, it's
so
like-
on Sunday, I'm watching Raiders, Niners, the NFL. So as far as a broadcaster, I've only worked in English, and then because it's your first language. When I work in Spanish, the few times that I did, it was so freaking hard. And so even in boxing,
You got criticized for it too, huh? In Spanish,
Yeah,
by saying shit wrong and just
I did
saying
it.
pocho.
I was doing Lakers sidelines report because it's the freaking Lakers. Like I'm gonna do. And
Hell
then
yeah, I'm getting these
It's the
tickets.
Lakers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the Lakers. So I did it for 1 year. But when I work boxing, I only work in English. And when I'm in the ring and I have to translate for a fighter, I
it
get
hard?
so much shit for people like you translated that wrong, and I'm like, okay, one, The dude just got into a fight, 10 rounds, and he's like, he got hit in the fucking head a couple times. He has a couple concussions, and that's the winner. And the dude's from Mexico who's speaking so damn fast, and I'm like, I always tell him, like, just give me 3 words, nice and easy, slow down.
Yeah.
Oh, sí. Put the microphone on.
Okay.
Es que quiero decirle gracias a mi familia. He wants to thank the entire village. But it's you want to go and you want to do things. And for me, I take a lot of pride in who I am and knowing that I can be a role model for a kid who might be 15, 16 years old and be like, you know what? There's somebody on English TV that I want to do that. Because when we were growing up, there wasn't anybody.
No.
And I'm one of the few that are doing it.
The only fool that was on TV for me, dog, didn't even talk. It was Fernando Valenzuela.
And he does. Yeah, he was pitching.
And now he does it.
Fernando's cool
what
as fuck, man.
Fernando Valenzuela, you are the fucking
Fernando's
best
cool.
rookie pitcher ever in the world.
Why do the Dodgers have so many Mexican fans? Because they embrace Fernando.
Mania. Hey, dog.
To this day, they still sell his jersey in Dodger Stadium.
Hey, but like
You told me about the 60 minute. We were driving.
Yeah.
You're like, you told me the whole
Hey,
story.
homie, you don't understand, dog. Like,
Well, how old are you? How old are you? In your 20s?
Yeah, 25.
the Dodgers were a white franchise until Fernando came, and like you don't understand, dog. Like, it was the first time Mexicans were like, "Sabes qué?
Accepted.
We're not gonna go to the disco. We're not gonna go to rooster fights. We're gonna go watch motherfucker Fernando Valenzuela pitch at Dodger Stadium, dog."
Mania.
It was before Cholos, dog. Like before Cholos, it was Chicanos.
Yeah.
Paisas turning into Chicanos. Like
Yeah.
it was
That's what
just
they
a-
want from us. Chicanos, killing Chicanos. He likes
Let
killing
me get my phone
Chicanos.
out. I want your pork chop.
It's that easy, Tommy.
Like, hey, homie, back then, they weren't even selling fucking tacos at the game, dog. It was before all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, motherfuckers were bringing thermoses with pozole in them to the stadium,
And then
dog.
they were listening to Jaime Jarrín and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then, so,
Let's talk about Fernando
okay,
Valenzuela,
so Fernando
please.
Valenzuela, like,
Rookie year.
What were they playing when he was warming up? Like the music,
no,
dog.
that was like, what, 82?
They
So
weren't
I don't
allowed
remember.
to.
Nah.
So I don't remember.
No
But I've heard
corridos.
stories around that because every kid, when you're Mexican and you're playing baseball, you want to become left-handed and look to the sky.
Yeah.
No matter what, you want to wear 34. He changed.
He was
the
before
entire-
Shaq.
Exactly. And the Dodgers had before that was Bobo Castillo from East LA, Boyle
I remember
Heights,
that fool.
who taught Fernando the screwball
Yeah.
supposedly. Bobo was cool. Rest in peace. And you had him, but you didn't have a guy who came in and just dominated. He was 20 years old, supposedly, right? Because we never know. But
Yeah.
he
Was like
came
30,
in, and he probably, and he came in and was just dealing. And just the kid from the dirt, from Navajo.
Sonora.
Right? So Navajo, Sonora. And it just came in, and then all of a sudden it became
Dominating.
a thing to do, like reading the stories. And dominated, pitched in the World Series, all that other stuff. And just kept on going, and you're like, you see,
Won against the Yankees.
yeah, but you see a fat, chubby dude,
5'10".
and then just
Mullet.
going and dealing, and nobody could talk to him because there was no ink. So Jaime Jarrín, the Dodgers Hall of Fame Spanish announcer, was his translator. And this kid's like, "Why are you so good? You're this," and he just changed it up. It became like I've heard stories that it became the top deck, the reserve level, which were the cheaper tickets, and the top. That's where the Mexicans can go and. You finally had somebody that you can identify with. And anytime you have, like, look, George Perez goes up, cool. Reason George Lopez was big and fluffy, because you see somebody that looks like you. You
A
can
lot of people
relate
don't
it to
look
it.
like Fluffy. That's kidding.
Actually,
I
hell
do.
yeah, they do.
I do.
I just don't have the Hawaiian shirt, but there's a lot of people his size that I know. Anyways, but like that was Fernando. You got to know, and you're like, that's the guy, and he was winning, and he was dominant, and it wasn't just Dodger Stadium because once I started working on the team, people were starting telling. He goes to Philadelphia.
He's
Fernando
all
was the
raza.
man. And all of a sudden, you realize that these different cities, there's Mexicans there. Milwaukee, people
Yeah.
were showing up. So for that year,
When he did Arizona, it was ridiculous.
that year, it was Fernando
Mania.
Yeah, and it was you had never seen anything like that. So Fernando's cool. He's a very I know people are probably saying right now. I guarantee you, people are saying, I met him one time and he was a jerk. He was this.
He's real quiet.
Fernando is a kid from the rancho. And
Yeah.
real super quiet, real reserved, right? So when I met him the first time, I'm like, the only time I ever fanboyed, I'm like, Fernando, I was a big fan, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, uh-huh. And I was like, fuck, man, he just blew me off. And I'm like, all right.
Your second idol ruined.
No, Tom was the first one. Jose Mota, Manny's son, was working for the Angels, and we were playing the Angel Dodgers, and he's like, "Hey, don't worry, Fernando's a really shy guy. He took it as a compliment, but he just doesn't know how to interact with it." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I got to know him over the years, and then I realized if Fernando stops to talk to one person, mobbed.
Yes.
So Dodger Stadium, there's no easy way from the field to back up to the press box. You have to go through the crowd to the escalator. Like behind home plate, there's an escalator, it takes you up, and there's no way. There's no secret way. So I guess I got him to know over the years. He's like, "Beto, listo?" I'm like, all right. And I would become Fernando's like little quasi security guard where we're walking, I would walk first, and he's just holding on the shirt, and he's like, "Oh yeah." Like he would take pictures, but he can't. The moment he stops, he just gets mobbed because to this day, everybody wants him, man. He's the only guy who's not playing that they sell his jersey in the stadium. You show him every game, I think like 5th or 6th inning in the Spanish radio booth. Standing ovation. It's just cool, and
he's the man,
he's
homie.
The man, and he embraced it. He loves the fans. It just he realized that if I stop for one person, there's a lot. But if there's little kids, he'll stop.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Probably
before.
had like anxiety, dog. If all those fools are up to him like that,
He's just a different. He's the same thing. He lives in the same house that he bought when he was a rookie. Like all that stuff. Like real kid. His kid's super cool. Like, it's nicest guy, but he knows that this is what he meant.
Will there ever be another Fernando?
Nah, because now the day we know everything who you are when you're 9 years old.
Yeah.
Like we know everything about him. Like those that
the analytics came in.
Remember Hideo Nomo? He popped up. It was like, oh, but now we know when there's like Shohei Ohtani or whatever. These guys in Japan, we know all about.
They
these
love
guys.
him as much as they love Julio Cesar Chavez.
Chavez, now that
More, dog.
man. See, the thing is, Chavez is loved by the Mexicans.
Yeah.
Fernando's loved by the Mexicans and the Mexican Americans.
Yeah.
You can't ever get those two to agree to anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey,
You
homie, hey, dog, my middle name's
Chavez.
Jose Fernando. Like, hey, dog, Fernando Valenzuela.
There's
It's
a
like-
corrido of
yeah.
El Toro Valenzuela by
Yeah.
los Invasores de Nuevo León.
He played for other teams, ridiculous.
He was but you talk about Chavez, like I work boxing, so when Chavez is in a fight in Vegas, dude, like that guy is.
They run out of Coronas, huh?
He don't drink anymore. He has a.
No, I'm talking about all the Mexicans buying drinks for him.
Yeah,
But trying
buckets.
to. No, because he works Azteca TV, so he's one of the broadcasters.
Oh, okay.
Did you see
Yeah.
his last fight con El Travieso?
Yeah, when
that
he-
shit was so
Okay,
crazy
dude,
and fun.
So he did an exhibition with Travieso Arce. 10,000 people in Sinaloa to watch two dudes with just
Old
spar.
dudes. Three rounds with the
Just
mask
sparring.
on. Just
Chavez
sparring.
fought?
Chavez
Like,
Travis.
Chavez
old
still
is he?
A
wants-
month
he's in
ago,
his
like
50s.
maybe 6 months ago tops. I don't even
He
know.
fought again?
A month ago.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a sanction. It was like sparring him and Travieso Arce. They went back at it.
They hate each other. They hate
Yeah,
each other when they
but-
grow, when they.
I
grow
remember
up.
he hated Jorge Marameo Paez.
Yeah, Paez was crazy.
He
What
was
amigo,
cool, though.
dog.
He was scandalous.
Paez.
Oh, go ahead,
fun.
talk about
So
this. My
Chavez
bad.
is a dude who he runs a rehab center in, I think it's TJ. I'm not mistaken. But in a fight in Vegas, he's in his tuxedo because he's one of the broadcasters, and anywhere he goes, he is just mobbed, and it's to this day mobbed by kids that are 10, mobbed by kids that are 60. He can't go anywhere.
He's the man, homie. I remember my dad breaking a TV because of him.
Well, Oscar De La Hoya, who I work for, would have said people hated me because I beat Chavez.
He beat old man Chavez, dog.
Yeah, but that was the thing. But it's like, okay,
Nobody could beat Chavez.
Yeah,
Do you think Mayweather could have beat Chavez?
that would have been a hell of a
Yeah, that was
No
bad.
way. He would have
that
dominated
was-
Mayweather.
Because Floyd can still fucking move. man.
Yeah, but Chavez was
Hey,
smart,
Chavez
dog.
moved good in that last game.
Yeah.
Daniel had nothing on him.
Dude, but Chavez on his Instagram still posts him working out, hitting the heavy bag in his 50s, and he's still got some abs and everything else. He's
Yeah.
right there, man.
He fought 100 times, dog.
Yeah, but remember Greg Hogan said, he's fighting a bunch of Tijuana cab drivers? Greg
Well, that's
Hogan.
what that fool said. Greg,
No, he said it, but then he got his ass whipped in Mexico
Exactly.
City. That's the thing, man. It's
The homeboy's mom looked like Julio Cesar Chavez,
the,
dog.
Mex-
Yeah.
the thing I love about working boxing, as I work for Golden Boy and Thompson Promotions, and if there's ever a fight in Ontario, hit me up, people. I'll take care of you. Just tell me GPS sent me.
Oh,
Wait, hold on.
shit.
Just tell me
Yeah.
GPS sent me.
Dangerous.
951.
Yeah.
Go
So,
up.
so for Thompson Boxing, I work
Code
fights
word,
at the Doubletree
GPS.
in Ontario. It's a ballroom, little dudes that are trying to get something, and they just go at it, right? So if you guys want to go, tell me GPS sent you. I'll take care of you. Anyways, so when you work fights, you get to meet these dudes, and usually the opponents are guys from Mexico who are cops, they're teachers, whatever.
shit.
And because if they find the United States, they're making like quadruple what they do. And not many guys in Mexico that have their visa to fight in the United States.
Yeah.
So you start meeting dude, you're like, wait a minute. Did you fight 3 weeks ago? Oh, yeah. I didn't get cut, so I'm ready to fight again.
I'm good, dog.
Because these guys show up, and it's like just the battles that they have. And it's like the guy's like 9 and 12, and they'll just go to town on people. And they'll lose, but it's just like
Just throwing headshots, huh?
the respect you have for these dudes. Like some of these guys will get caught up, and they're like, okay, fight's on Friday. They call them on Wednesday. Hey, can you make 140 pounds? All right, hold on. Let me lose 8 pounds. Okay, yeah, I'll be there. Like,
No way.
Like,
guys
man, they'll
do
lose
that.
it, huh?
Oh, they'll lose it.
Cut weight.
They'll eat like a peanut. It's just
But those are like dangerous fights for that guy, right? Because they're so.
But he don't give a fuck.
they
He
don't
just
give
wants
a
to
fuck
go
because
fight.
they're gonna show
Yeah,
up.
they didn't get paid to eat too.
Because, yeah, and then they're gonna fight a guy who's like 6-0, 7-0.
to keep their numbers
They're
rising.
keeping up, to keep on going. So boxing's crazy.
Hey, when you make weight, like say if you know how they weigh you before the
Yeah.
fight, you can grub after that, or you got to stay at
So
that
you
weight.
weigh in the day before the fight,
Yeah.
and the moment you get on the scale, if the contract can say 140, you make 140. As soon you notice how you ever see a weigh-in, as soon as they're done, they give them a Pedialyte.
Yeah.
Those guys are sucking that down because they're so bone dry. Then they can go and gain. Usually, guys gain like 10 pounds the next day.
What's the most
Damn.
you've seen someone gain where you're like, that's holy shit?
It's dangerous. Some of those middleweights because it's dangerous because if they gain like 15 pounds,
It's slowed down.
It's bad for your
slow
liver,
down
too.
a lot. Now, some of the rules have like where if it's a title belt, you can only gain 10 more. So they have the second day weigh-in. So
Except heavyweight.
heavyweight, you can do whatever the fuck you look at.
Yeah.
Andy Ruiz, you can do whatever the hell you want, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, dog.
heavyweights are the best. They're like, I don't have to weigh in. They get on the scale just so they know how much they weigh.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. You ever been to a fight? A boxing match?
Yeah, but nothing major and shit.
Only fight I've been to was a rooster fight.
Yeah.
Have you
That was
really?
it. Yeah.
Into those.
Dude, I've heard some of those stories in Hawaii.
No, this was out in Paris, California.
Paris?
Yeah, in a
the
rancho.
Aint, yeah, the ranchos.
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
Dude,
Factorville.
I gotta take you to a fight. Like,
well, please take
at the
us to a
forum.
fight.
We won't even take Russell Peters. We'll just go.
Oh
bro.
shit! Well,
At the
Beto,
forum.
thank you so much for being part of George
Ah,
Press
man,
Stories,
I'm
bro.
happy.
Tell my followers where they can follow you and get your content, get your podcasts, spread everything.
So I got 2 podcasts. It's called Living the Dream podcast is mine, where I interview, which you're going to be a guest on pretty soon.
Please.
It's I ask the people, how did you get to where you're at? Not right now. Tell me about when you were using one credit card to pay off the other one, to pay off
Never.
the other one, and then not you, Eddie, but like
I was using a girl's credit
but
card.
you were using somebody's,
Yeah,
you were
dog.
using somebody's stolen credit
Hell
card
yeah, dog.
to chase your dream, or where you had to borrow $8 to get half of a tank of gas to go do a set to make $20. You know, like that kind of stuff, and get on there. Martin's been on it. Felipe's been on it. So that's called Living the Dream. Then I have a baseball one with my friend Ricky Romero, who played baseball.
what is it called? Can't hit that.
That one's called Let's Go Ricky Rowe with Ricky Romero and Beto Duran. And
Okay.
you'll love this. He grew up in East LA, played for the Toronto Blue Jays. Injuries ended his career, but he's a great
Damn.
dude and made a bunch of money. And he's retired. And we still do a baseball camp in East LA once a year for him.
Oh, that's what's
so
up.
it's a great story. That's one where we just tell baseball stories. I basically interview him. And then my Instagram is Beto Vision. Twitter is Durant Sports. Twitter's like professional. Don't even worry about that.
Hey, the camp at East LA, you should call it dugouts instead of drive-bys.
Dugouts.
I want to see when
I'm
you
quick.
Yeah, when you come on my, I want you to bring your all CIF jacket, bro.
Nah, I still got my jersey and all that shit. I just
What was the name? Let's go Orange what?
Orange High School, bro.
What was it a nickname?
The Orange High Panthers.
Orange High. Just like Chapman, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, I could,
my brother
I could
played
see-
for Chapman too. It was crazy.
Wait, he went to Chapman and San Diego State?
Yeah. Because he left after 2 years. Because
Dude.
he got his master's in criminal justice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and that's what Chapman's known for.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome, man. So it's Durant Sports, Beto Vision, and then like last thing I'm gonna say here is I'm a big fan of you.
Oh, thank you.
You the person, now that I've gotten to know you, is even more impressive than you the comedian.
Oh, shit.
No, because you're real.
I have to be, dog.
No, because a lot of people that I work with and a lot of people you deal with are not real. They put up the show and then you see them behind the scenes. You're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
It's
fuck
like
that.
because at the end of the day, you have to be real. You surround yourself with good people. Like you have a good cast and you got something good. I'm happy that you're doing the.
Thank you, brother.
the
We trying,
YouTube,
bro. Thank
and
you
you're
for
growing.
coming. Yeah.
I'm good. And just for everybody to know, Tommy, forget you. I brought beer.
He's a sponsor now. He's a
I'm not
sponsor.
freeloading, Tommy. I'm not freeloading. I brought because when you're a guest anywhere, You should go and show up. Never show up empty-handed.
Damn.
All right, I'm out here.
That was the rant for today, dog.
That's the rant.
That was the rant.
SideDick Beto.
That's the Beto Duran rant right there, dog.
Hey, I got one show confirmed so far. April 4th, Continental Room.
Still?
There might be 5 tickets left. I'm going to try to keep it going. We're going to fucking wash you before you get in. We're going to do it like Pulp Fiction with the manguera. We want the show to go down. Follow me on Twitter, George B. Comedy, Instagram.
Hey, where can I steal your material from? Your Instagram, right?
Everybody's doing it. Fuck it. Just tag me in it. You can steal my material, but you can never steal my hose. Don't forget, yo, man, right now the coronavirus is going around, and I'm not trying to tell you how to live, but hey, you know what? Clean yourself. If you see someone dirty, throw them a little boy or local wipe. Just be nice and live it. All right? Keep following us. We're going to keep putting shit out. SideDick, hit him.
That's it, dog. We're done. I can't follow Beto's rant about Tommy's lies, dog.
Shit.
All
We're
right.
done. But
When
we'll
you
probably
were little?
Yeah, when I was little. But we're probably gonna be doing more.
We might do one tomorrow. We're trying to
We'll see what's up, dog. You know how it is. X to the F to the A to the G.
Go ahead.
What's up?
X.
I'm done. Enough shows.
All right. Hey, yo, I'm the only one that got shows, and I hope y'all fools got hoes. George Press Stories, episode 154. With that being said, take a shower. Beto Power. Lay.